Give me a napkin.
Tastes like milk.
Tastes like coffee. Go get me a napkin, please. Thank you, buddy. All right. Refresh this, refresh that. We're good. Overall, everything is kind of beaten down pre-market. Here are our levels. NVIDIA has earnings today, post-market. Yesterday we sold off NVIDIA pretty much right off the open. You can see here yesterday just pretty much sold off all morning. Initial, breakdown of that pre-market range, and then rolled straight down right into the bottom of this zone here that I've had drawn up from however long ago. We've held that area pretty much exclusively here. Maybe can make it a little bit bigger. It could be this whole entire zone here. It started to rally yesterday after this little wedge crack to the upside. It kind of drove futures higher. We went right into that 696 area, right into that zone here, just below 700, and sold off. So right as market closed. So market closed, sold right back into this bottom. If we crack this bottom on the open, I'm gonna see how far down we can get. Go to a hourly. Now we'll go to a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart has our next area of importance right here, and then obviously the wick. I would say this is probably more likely in that area there, 672.50, give or take. These wicks could draw it as a zone, and then if that breaks, obviously after the bottom of that wick there at 660. Once again, my voice is burnt. I don't know. I have a little bit of a cold, so they have earnings post market today. The anticipated earnings is 4.593 per share, and then revenues of 20.359 billion. If they do beat, you could anticipate, since we're selling off so much, maybe that this is a either profit taking for somebody who knows better, or it's price getting driven down so that as earnings come in, they can just rocket this thing back to the high side. It's just going to be a wait and see kind of deal. I kind of anticipate that it sells off, although they've had some really fantastic earnings over the past, few times that they've been reporting. So it's just going to have to wait and see what they say. NQs are in this range. This red line here is the overnight low. The overnight high is up here at 17,590. We're going to just be patient, see what happens down here. If it cracks and flushes, then it's probably off to the races. I'm going to sneeze. Give me a second. It's going to kind of all depend on what NVIDIA decides to do. NVIDIA, Microsoft does have down to the bottoms here, in that range there, 396. If the NQ goes, so does Microsoft. I'm going to put it into the 1 minute. Okay, we have about 20 seconds till open. Everybody trade good. I hope we have a great day here. We're going to watch this overnight low, see what happens. If we are opening near it, could get a rotation back to the high side if NVIDIA plays with a little bit of a bounce. There's the flush of that overnight low. Okay, here we go. 67% short. Let's let this opening range kind of play out. Right on the open, Microsoft dancing around, NVIDIA flush the bottom there. I'm going to see if it rotates higher. Yesterday's low was made at 11:30 and it was 17,452 right here. So all right, that opening range here, 120 something ticks. If we break the high of it, possibly look to see if we can just never look back. But if this continues to push down, NVIDIA is kind of just sitting on this level here. Could just melt off. If NVIDIA melts off, then we have downside to go. If we break the high here, could risk. I don't want 5 contracts. I don't know why that's on there. Could just catch this bounce here. Look to catch the opening range. Breakout. I would probably take that long if we could get that, front run it a little bit. Break the opening range high. Risk to the low of the day. All right, so we're all in long. We're going to see if we can catch this opening range. We only have 1 contract on. If we can add to it, we may. But just looking to see, because NVIDIA pushed through the highs right there. Up 180 on it. I'm going to leave that to the bottom, that opening range low. NVIDIA pushing through highs there. You see that NVIDIA popping. So that was really kind of the catalyst to this on the break above. I'm going to try and start this day on the right foot. I'm trying to give it some room, some patience. Amazon pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. So that should drive us a little higher here. Up 200 on this trade. Don't want to risk much more than that. I want to break the high here. I'm going to go to break even. If NVIDIA fails, I don't want to be out of this. I want to take some off. Yeah, I'll take that there. We're up, oops, the wrong count. Currently up $48. Kind of saw NVIDIA wick that high and then stop, so I wanted to get out of that. Probably should have just marketed it out, but we'll take that $50 to start the day. Give ourselves a slight little buffer. Green there. Small green, but it gives us a little something to work with. If we could get that retest of the bottom here without that same deal, we could go long again and take that 2 contracts out. Take 1 off at the VWAP. I want to kind of get to it again, that overnight low. There we go. Pushing towards the overnight low, not making new low on the delta. I gotta put NVIDIA up. I'll take that long. If it gets above that opening range high, I'm gonna take 1 off at VWAP. Delta's actually starting to push hard to the downside, so I may hold off on this. Nope, I'm in, so we're gonna go long. There goes NVIDIA upside, so let's see, can we get this thing to push now? Come on now. We're in on 2, we're up 230 on it. get through that 503 level. If it gets through 503, we're at break even. We're at break even. So now it's a free trade. See if we can get that one off at 521 and a quarter ish. Just not playing along through 503 here. Get through 503. Nope, we're out. We're flat. Up $100 on the day so far, 110. Just not getting that follow through, so that's gonna tell me a little something about pushing down. Up 100. So we're starting the day off right. Two for two. Not really convinced on that upside. I've been trying. I took 2 shots at it. Took 2 quick little scalpy type moves, but now we're pushing back to the downside again. Got to let it kind of decide what it wants to do, right? We were in this range all night, really between the overnight high and overnight low here. This is yesterday's close. Kind of whipped up here and then just sold off since, but we sat below 574 right here. We sat on top of this level at 550. Then we used 550 as a sell point. If we can get back up to 550, that could be a good sell location. Just we'll watch it just based off of how it reacted. If we get up and through it, we're gonna watch the overnight high. The breakdown though is very, very important to watch because we're winding up. It's like if we can break above 503 again, do we have that room to the upside is the question. I mean, obviously we have room to the upside, but the delta divergence is there. My only question is, will NVIDIA play to the upside or not? It seems like it wants to. It's broken up above, so I'm going to take that long one more time, but it's going to be up here. And I'm going to see if I can get that one off. Like I said, I'm going to get the one off here. And see if we can get into this and get it moving in our favor. One of these pops is bound to go, right? If it doesn't go here, then it's probably not going to go and it's going to sell off. NVIDIA pushed up pretty hard and it just hasn't given us that NASDAQ look to the upside. I love when it opens at like either opening an overnight low or an overnight high, because that's usually when I get my moves to the other end. So I'm looking to see if I can get one off on this. I'm going to go to break even. If it's going to fail, I don't want to be involved, to be honest. I keep taking my money and running. Be a little scalpy with it on a day of Fed notes, 121. So just not getting that follow through on it. But I'm going to take my my quick little profits and go up 121. We've been in 3. One of these is going to pop, but we're kind of just building that little bit of a buffer here. Up 121 on the morning, a little scalpy. NVIDIA's got to have to make a decision before its earnings. We are, if you look at this here, I don't know if my P&L switches on this. So yeah, okay, so you can see we're right on this base here at 461.75, right there. S&P is just sitting, trying to pop. It looks like it wants to bounce. So we try to get the bounce here. That's what we're looking at, right? That bounce play. All right, we're going to go here, back to this spot, and see what we can get. Alrighty. We're building up. This is a very kind of telling to me that it might want to sell a little bit, but if it can get this thing filled and up, then we're off to the races, I would say. We've been holding this level. NVIDIA rolled back to its breakout point. If it fails this 685, 684 level here and rotates down, then the prices of the NQ is probably going to do the same. So that's why we've been chopping here. NVIDIA's been very indecisive. It seems like it's decisive, but it's not. Microsoft has been bouncing. NVIDIA, like I said, bounce. Apple push to the highs and is doing a high base type play there. See, it's continuing to just wicket. Delta is not doing much. It's just flat. I think one of these, it's either going to pop or it's going to flush, but Apple's rolling a bit. Microsoft rolling over some. NVIDIA bounced off 684. You can see, but now it's trying to recover it. I apologize for the sniffles and the weird voice and all that. I'm going to get rid of this so I don't accidentally do anything. You can see this thing just chop, 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 chop. If it breaks above here, I think you get a really nice pop. But just based on where we're at on the chart, Microsoft's still below 400. Apple basing above 130, 180, 230. If NVIDIA breaks downside, then this is going to go. Okay, there's a, you see that delta push to the downside. Looks like it wants to go right now. Kind of cracking. NVIDIA's cracking that 684 level, 684.94. Can we continue this push, or are we going to rally? I don't trust either way at the moment, so I'm going to hold off. I know I'm a short bias trader at the moment, but some of these names, you know, you do have NVIDIA there, but you have Microsoft. Still, it could push up to 400. Yesterday's lows, really, we flushed them, and now we're kind of coming back to it. Yeah, I'm very uncertain. I needed to decide a direction, and then we'll try and play the direction. This kind of delta push to the downside did break the bottom. We made new lows. We didn't make new lows in price. If we break above 503 again, possibly look to rip to the upside, but I think this wants to get heavy. Something's telling me it wants to get heavy. I tried those longs a couple times. I did 3 longs. We're up 121 really with after fees. Nice little start to the day, but I know there's money to be made today. Let's try and be smart about it. NVIDIA just rolling back down. NVIDIA rolling down. I think if we can get into that, you know, into this range here, that 440, 450 to 430, then maybe catch a bounce. NVIDIA is still rolling down, so that's a break of that overnight low. If we could break the base of the opening range low, could continue down. 461 is yesterday's. The flush of yesterday's right here. 452 and a quarter. I'm gonna put a line here just so I can see it without going back to it. I think this plays to the downside. The break of that overnight low gave you a good little push down. Could have got one off already, and then just been sitting risk free on the other. It's very hard to trust either direction right now. Microsoft rolled over. It's still pushing pretty hard to the downside. Apple pushing highs. If Microsoft catches a bit of a bid with Apple at the highs, all right, let's see here. Microsoft looking to break yesterday's lows, but we're bouncing on the futures. Futures chart looks a lot like this NVIDIA chart, right? You could see this little bid up as much as you could, kind of just stay flat. Sold off. As soon as it sold off, we sold here, catching a little bounce, They look very similar, right? Not so much with Microsoft. Microsoft's more straight down, and it just broke the low So watch the lows because Apple was at highs and is breaking highs. Microsoft's at lows, breaking lows, and Nvidia's in the middle here. So Nvidia seems to be carrying it. If Microsoft recovers that 398 level, then that could carry us out back up. Failed breakdown of the overnight low. I don't trust it. It's still right in the middle of our opening range. Yeah, once again, I'm just got a little bit of a scratchy voice today. Trying to get over this little whatever bug it is. We're watching NVIDIA, we're watching Microsoft and Apple. I was a little aggressive on a couple tries at a buy. Already we're up 120 on those. And we're just being patient here. I think maybe if we hold this and break the low here, then you have Delta working in our favor here. But if it gives us maybe a wick down to yesterday's low and Delta stays up here, you got the divergence. And tilt is 59% short. So not heavy short, just slightly short, which is congruent with what's going on. NVIDIA is still selling. Microsoft holding below yesterday's lows. And is Apple still rallying? It failed to break out. Apple failed to break out, so are we gonna short this here? I'm not a real. It's very difficult for me to play continuations and breakouts. I like to fail extremes. That's my strategy. So, yes, you see good opportunity here in the short right now, but and then like I said, Delta's congruent. You can probably just catch the ride and enjoy it. But I don't have that strategy really being convincing to me. It could get down to 400. Probably pretty realistically 384 here. NVIDIA is pushing downside, but the market's not playing along. This is a heavy delta for the price to be not moving right now. I think if it does crack this, then it probably pushes pretty hard, pretty fast. But if we reject it and we start to rotate, then we could get a good failure due to that all these sellers piling in and not much happening. There is a buyer here somewhere. I'm being patient here. I would like to see it tell me a little bit something more. I like that bounce there. NVIDIA bounced off the very bottom of its zone. An acceptance above, maybe like a close above this overnight low could convince me that we can get a long. This is yesterday's low, so it's a good fade location as well for me. Back into the opening range. If it fails this opening range breakdown, then if for another rotation through this opening range high, you get a good move up probably. Microsoft still holding below yesterday's lows. Apple still trying to break out, and NVIDIA giving you a pop, but it hasn't broken up too far yet. I want to limit my risk, right? So, what's my best case? I don't want to give 40 ticks here when you don't really have that bit of room, right? trust the long yet. Maybe one more flush on the bottom. No lower low on the delta. I want a heavy short tilt, and then maybe I'll think about fading it. But until then, I don't have that, so we're just being patient. Secured our 121 on the day. Yesterday we were a huge Korean day, $3, big $3 day. What made it a huge day is that it was we were down about 1,200, rallied back, and went down again, and then rallied back a second time. So we had a double comeback day. Overall, I probably should have ended the day about up a little bit more than $3, but I'll take a $3 break even day after being like down $1,200. One of these trades hits, then you're up quite a bit. So I think we can give this a flush lower. Microsoft did hold the low and is breaking down more. If Apple fails the high again and NVIDIA carries us down some more, and I would be surprised if NVIDIA doesn't just stay range bound the whole day. Does that drive us to the downside? Maybe. If we can crack and hold this. Delta's just not quite building it. You're building in like longs here, right? Seems like. Alright, Microsoft's getting a bounce here. I don't know if it's a little profit taking or if it's going to actually get some buyers to get involved, but let's wait and see. You can see Delta slowing down on the breakdowns instead of giving you good flushes. You're getting bids here, so NVIDIA just broke the bottom. I think we're gonna roll. NVIDIA broke the bottom of the range here one more time. If you get a flush of it, then watch, see what happens here. If it bounces, then this rally comes in. Looks like it wants to. We were limiting risk here. You saw it get built in. NVIDIA breaking the lows kind of just shied me away from getting into this, but that was a really. You were able to limit your risk to the downside there, and you can probably rotate this bad boy up now. But you would be in the money pretty good already. Let's see what happens at the overnight low. Delta's still building in, pushing higher than this previous high. So there are buyers coming in at this high here, but now NVIDIA's pushing the bottom again. Microsoft broke right through the low of yesterday and is accepting back into the range from yesterday. So if it holds and continues to rotate, then as will the NASDAQ. I think it'll help carry everything, but NVIDIA's really beating everything down. So there's a bounce. Amazon, Apple's still looking to crack the highs, but it's really in that base. Microsoft wicked above. See if it's gonna fail it. Looks like it's failing that. Yesterday's low again. NVIDIA bounced, fail. Do we play this fade? Sell 2 here. Do we sell 2 here? 461 and 3/4. It's not giving you that flush. Good thing we didn't sell there. I feel like we're building into something for a long. It's just kind of what it feels like. It's very heavy right here, but Delta's telling us a different story. Delta's on an upturn. Price tried, it just got a basing. Microsoft is trying to hold the yesterday's low, but it keeps dipping under and over and under and over. So we may base here a bit. Watch the delta. If we try and wick the low again, you might be able to fade that low to rotate up and then see if we can catch a bid on anything. Because NVIDIA is still just holding the low end of the range. Down at 679 and 79 cents. %8 long, so tilt's starting to get a little long. Post market. I like the delta push though. I think that this entry right here was the entry for the long, obviously because, you know, now hindsight, but I was talking about how delta didn't play along. You started to get tilts up. My delta settings are you, so you're in Trade though, right? Yeah, so I think it's just different across platforms. My settings for this delta is it's just set to one point. There's that rotate higher. Damn, I missed that entry on the bottom. I have a 0 line set. Really, there's nothing. It's just the basic settings. There's not much to set on it because it's just all it does on this one is it resets at midnight every night. I just know Tradeawait's a little different as far as what it looks like. Don't act like I'm not switching to a second espresso. Kind of mad at myself here for not being aggressive on this long. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I just saw this push up here. I'm being slightly cautious on the NVIDIA stuff because NVIDIA did push up and that's kind of what caused it, but at the same time it could rotate back down. Microsoft pushed below yesterday's low, tried to make new lows, didn't hold it, rallied right back above yesterday's low, wicked it, and now we're rotating up again. I'm going to just watch it. We got to see kind of what it does. If it holds yesterday's lows and continues to rotate up to 400, then our NQ should go too. Might try the long through the high of the opening range. Once again, that's just like my my breakout point there, although it is sort of diddly. Still pushing up. Microsoft's pushing up. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't really. It's literally right in the middle of the opening range. No diddling in the middle. I don't have anything. Like I said, I love to fade these overnight lows and rotate them back to the overnight highs. But on a day like today, it's just such a weird day that we opened on the overnight low. We flushed it. Do we recover it? I mean, this really was yesterday's low, held beautifully. I saw this little wick here. Delta didn't want to play along. Could have entered in right above here. Only risking about $300 on 2 contracts and been just fine. Taking off one at the high here probably of these wicks and then have one on still, but probably get stopped out just below 470. There's a high volume node there that I would like to have been below. dead center of this opening range. 461 and 3/4 was a previous level. I am shot. My voice does not work today. Hate this thing. Okay, so we're pushing back above the overnight low with a little bit of like strength. Like it's a strong looking. You see that like speed up. Price is trying to push. Looks like it wants to continue to go. Let's see what is NVIDIA doing something. Yeah, NVIDIA is popping. If it could break above 684, then this price may continue to go. But you can see Delta building in here. What can we risk here? What's the risk on that? 630 is a bit much. There, like I said, there was a high volume node in here at 670, 470. So that's where I would expect there to be this rejection. I'm going to need a rotation up. NVIDIA failed that high. 684 is a front run liquidity zone, it seems like, in NVIDIA. $67% long in the tilt. 62%, so it's diminishing like longs. Seems like sellers. The longs are 49% positive from 476. So pretty much now they're all out of the money. Probably gonna start getting stopped out. If it flips to short, you know, heavier short, you see how good this. Wow, that was a very strong delta push. A breakdown of 61 right here probably gives you a good, like another hard push. But if it holds like it's doing right now, you get that rotation. So let's see if this holds. Is it going to be bodies? Yeah, it's going to be bodies. It's still hard to risk this. It's a bit much to risk. Just take one contract. I'm gonna test this long on a
order filled
on a Top Step X combine. I'm just testing this. I don't trust it. There we go. 390 up already on 2 contracts. Crack of that trend line there really worked out, huh? I should have took this, huh? Look at that, beautiful.
order filled
Took off 500 on that, on the Top Step X. 79% long though, could be a tilty liquidity grab there, so be cautious on it. 80% long right here, right at the top end of this range where I tried to play the breakout twice. We're right at VWAP. I wouldn't take the breakout here. The breakout from here was pretty good. I took it on the Top Step X, took off 500 on it. I took it just to test the theory. I didn't care so much on the, you know, that account's at 52,244, so it's close to getting past. I can't take anymore. It's I took an overnight trade on it, and I made $1,000. So, not really worried about those combines too much to stream. So I just do them when I feel like I sit at the computer and have some opportunities. So tomorrow, maybe I'll get past. That was a great break. Goddamn. You know, my first target would have been take one off right here at 503 and then leave one runner on. Beautiful. Long from here was the right call. The bounce from 51. NVIDIA now pushing to highs. There you go. Like I said, possibly short from 550 is the idea. $558 is probably the level that I would be watching. in this zone here, I would like to see a rejection just based on last night's price action, right? We came into it, we failed, we held it as support. So we're going to really watch 550 to be our short location. Damn, man. Well, so the confluence here, right? The reason I took that on the Top Step X was really considering it on my funded account, pussied out. But was the overnight low. You saw a strong delta push. You started to see everything kind of fail this. You failed this low hard, right to the bottom of the opening range. Then you started to rotate up. You broke through that overnight low, and then this little wedge that was forming just cracked. That was all you needed for this thing to go. We got very heavy tilty up here at these highs. So it's 75% tilty is pretty heavy to me, especially when the S&Ps aren't as heavy. So you could see a little bit of a relief here. This was another important level overnight, right? Support. Broke it hard, broke to the upside, acted as support, and then flushed again. So I'm not going to take a breakout of it, but it would be an interesting level to watch with delta still building. You do have an inside one, a break above the inside one could give you a little bit of a push, but I don't trust inside ones as much as I trust inside fives and inside 30s. NVIDIA rolling from that 684 level again. Are you long from the bottom? 521. Hell yeah. 17,521. Oh, that's the current price. Where are you long? Where are you short? Where are you long from? The bottom? $250. Yeah, you had to be long from here. That's the only way that there's that many ticks to be had. Yeah, so right when I was talking about that long, Ray took a long there. He's up pretty good on that. That's a really nice move there. Yeah, I saw this thing. The delta started to peel up. I really wanted to get long here. We would have been able to really limit our risk right to the bottom there. Sorry, I apologize for the cough. Still sitting up $120. I want to get short somewhere up there if I can get there. Hell yeah, buddy. Well done. Good stuff. Yeah, I was talking about it there. Didn't take it. Sitting at view up now, really. Yeah, well, good. You're done. Get going. Enjoy the day. There's that sell right from there. Heavy tilt. Just no follow through on that. I think 684 for NVIDIA is a sell point. If it breaks through here, it's going to roll down further. So if Microsoft continues to push down, Microsoft hit off on 400. So Microsoft, if it doesn't hold 4, then you get the rotation as well. Rangy day, choppy day, Fed minutes, even though it's not new information, it's still going to get the markets moving algorithmically at 1 o'clock. NVIDIA popping now off there at 681. Microsoft still trying to hold 400. These are the spots where I need to execute. Those are the extremes I'm talking about, the zones I'm talking about, the divergence that I need. Really right now I don't prefer to play in these range over here. This is where I get myself in trouble. Up a little bit on the day, up 120. But we're going to just be ready to go when we get an opportunity again. Microsoft trying to push highs. NVIDIA is really building into a short, I feel like. crack this here, then this should sell off. I'm gonna take it there. I know that's what I didn't say I want to do that, but I want this thing to get through here and accept through the bottom. I want Microsoft to fail 400. Fuck you. And we're giving it back a little bit. See if Microsoft will fail this high, and then we should get some rotation downside, hopefully. I'm patient, letting our stop do its work. Pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, pushing down. That was a hard push to the downside. Hopefully it can continue. Microsoft failing 400, looks like. What's NVIDIA doing? Microsoft trying to fail highs. NVIDIA is sitting here. I would love to see this thing just melt off now and we can get through the lows. If we get through our break even, we're going to go right to above over the opening range high. It's kind of holding that, which I don't like. I would like it to get accept back into the opening range here because of the way the equities. Really what I try to do is fade that 400 break of Microsoft. It didn't work out. As far as that's concerned, NVIDIA is rolling over, which is interesting to me. Where that this should, and Microsoft also pushing down. I bet you VWAP acts as resistance, and then we get out. But down 340, all good there. Just try a shot at it. 347. See, there's that wick. Microsoft looking to fail it. I will look to see if I can get this thing short one more time. I think NVIDIA gets really heavy. Oh, 17.5. That's what's right there. That's what's fucking with me. We're short again. See if we can get it to play. If it doesn't play, then we're going to just pause for a minute. There's that roll on that NVIDIA. NVIDIA's breaking down. Where's that? Right above these bodies. NVIDIA breaking down hard. We're not following. Come on, follow this. Let's get it going. Microsoft failing 400. This should give us that rotation now. And I'm going to trail it. As I get to break even on the day, I'm going to trail myself. We got to break 500. If we break 500, then we should get a flush. Come on, break the 500, dude. Not quite playing along. No, Microsoft's rolling under 400. Come on now. You should be rolling as well. Getting it. Let's go. Come on now. Short. This is where that short comes in hard. Let's go. 73% tilty long side. I think that's a good trade to the long to short side here. We're not quite breaking 500. We need to do that. We need to give it a harder flush. There's a little bit of a push. That's good. We need to get through that overnight low. Opening range high. Can't speak. Get through the overnight low would be nice. There's that big flush. I'm gonna leave this up here. Let this thing do its thing. Come on now. Hold that 5. Hold below 500. Nope. Not getting that flush. I'll leave that above you out. Microsoft still not breaking above 400. Wow. Strong. Even though Delta is not. This should continue to roll. But if it blasts me over, then it does. It is what it is, right? Accept your loss and move on. I just want this thing to breathe to the downside a bit. I want to take one off if it gets to the overnight low, but it's not going to get there, is it? Wow. Just pushing. Let's see. Yeah, we're out. There's a pop. Down 6. Alrighty, down 660. 2 kind of shitty trades there. Okay, we're still. That wick tells me something that I don't like, that it's getting so. Take it one more time here. No, I gotta flatten this. Doesn't want to go sometimes. Microsoft recovered 400, and that drove us back up. We're catching that bounce. That 525 level is important to me. So let's just see if we can get up to that 525. Tilt got heavy long. Very interesting how it didn't fail it. So that's showing me a little bit of strength. Really, this long here is where we wanted to be. We're not getting new highs on Delta. I think any sort of breakdown from here should give us a good short. But we got to break down and hold it. Let's see if we can catch one of these things to the downside, get ourselves a nice little move here. We caught 2 losers in a row there that got us not huge losers, but we're not looking to hammer into a revenge trade here. We want to see if we can get ourselves a better opportunity. Maybe at that 558 will give us that short, like I was mentioning earlier. And there's that. 76% long on the tilt. Once again, a heavier tilt could lead to a sell-off there. Shitty fucking voice today. There's a failure. Microsoft failed it this time. Is this the time it actually fails? We're short 2 here. Just got to get through this. Two days in a row of just grind. Once again, we need to break the low here. Microsoft failing again. The highs. NVIDIA also never made it through 684. Microsoft bouncing again at 400. There it goes, flushing 400 again. So maybe we can get a good push on the downside for Microsoft and get us to help this out a bit. I would like to get one off at the overnight low if we can. Like I said, just a front run at a touch. right there. And then I would like to get this to continue to rotate down to the bottom, but that's just, we got to be patient with it, let it do its thing. We want to be involved in the heavy short if it comes in. That's why I keep taking this shot at it. It's not that it's the wrong move, it's just when is the right time for it. There's the acceptance, hopefully below the opening range high. If we could accept below that, then we should be able to continue to rotate down. If it fails it again, then we're probably going to get stopped out on this. Just acting as such a strong area of support. Seems like it wants to hold. We are below VWAP, so that is a good confluence. Tilt never got, tilty long. I'm not tilt. Delta never got heavy long, so now we're trying to push to the downside. There we go. Getting a little bit heavier now. Let's see if we can continue to push this to the downside. I don't want to get stopped out at even yet. I think this has room if it does push and hold. It seems like it just wants to continue higher. There we go. Come on now. Get flushed. We're going to get heavy. Get some sellers to pour into this. Microsoft still holding below 400, helping us out here. Any sort of selling that comes into Microsoft should help this down. NVIDIA should not be breaking highs. It's still in the middle of this little upper end of this range that I have here. Building into a long, maybe this wedge here. I'm not sure. Microsoft recovering 400 almost. This is, a lot of liquidity getting grabbed here, it seems like, and there's not a lot of heavy delta to the high side. It's not building into a big green like we were over here. So there should get a selling to come in. Confident that it should go. I just don't know when it's going to go. That's why I've been trying to get involved in each shot at this breakdown. Lower high, breaking this low would be important. Microsoft, again, selling from 400, getting up to 400, selling from 400, getting up to 400, and then hopefully get us a sell side push. Nope, looks like it's going to pop, and now we're going to be, Delta's building in now. You can see it building in to a longer end. Hopefully that just was just right there, and now we're going to build into some shorts. Be stopped out there, down 1,000 again. Another day of just battling this through. Let's see what we can do here. It's gonna roll over on me now. Oh yeah. Frustrating day so far. And I said it was gonna be frustrating too, and I just don't listen to myself. But any of these moves could have played, and we would have been just fine. So we are just going to continue to look for our opportunity, see if we can catch it when it comes. Patience. Microsoft wicked again. I mean, this has have to break something. Let's see if it breaks this. Lower high in Delta. Microsoft fell 400 again. Apple set rolling. NVIDIA back to that 684. I really want to be involved if this thing gets through here, but gotta break and go. Someone's fucking break and go. Microsoft looking to maybe break the wedge to the bottom. I have this order if it wants to crack this. But if it breaks above, then we may go long on it to catch that quick little runner. But looks like, I feel like Microsoft's getting heavy at these highs. NVIDIA is still just chilling up here, and Apple as well, like chopping around. We're short. All right. Let's see if this plays now. There we go. There's the flush that we're looking for. We were looking for this before. All right, we're at break even, so let's see what happens. We'll let this thing continue to go. If we can get to this blue line here, we will look to get ourselves fast trails, fast moves, fast trails, right? I'll take one off at the blue line, just above the blue line, and then we'll see if we can get a runner on for the rest. I don't know if we're going to continue on. This is the crack that I've been looking to get the whole time. It's just been fucking with me. Now we're actually getting it. Can it hold below the overnight low is the question. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. All right, flatten. We're down 690. Good little $400 grab there. Nice little comeback move. We caught the one we wanted. 698. Caught that little guy. Could have been a little bit patient on it. Could have caught one off at the overnight low and then let this thing continue to run down. That was just what we were looking to see if we can catch. If this is a failed breakdown, if we rotate back up through this little wedge pattern here, could look to see if it's going to go long. You know, another breakout above that the opening range high. Microsoft, NVIDIA rolled, but caught that bottom, so I'm fair with that being what we caught on that. Got to secure some profits as we see them. I don't know if I want this here, but I'm going to leave it there because it looks cool. NVIDIA is still pushing a little bit. Microsoft caught a little bit of a bounce. Apple also bouncing from the low, so we are held up a little bit by these other names. I think if we do break above this wedge after a breakdown like that, it's going to show some strong buyers coming in. So I think that breakout will play out nicely. It also looks like a fade of a level. So I would like to take 2 on that there if it does break above there. But that's just in the future. Microsoft's still pushing down. There's the push down. I wanted to get one off at the blue line. We got both off. Had to secure some of those profits back. One more nice little move will get us back to even and then beyond. Lower high in the delta. Higher low in the delta. Try to make a new low in price. Let's watch that for a reversal. This is not important anymore. Garbage. Oh. Not that. This. NVIDIA has the 678. All right. Problem with trading your P&L and not the price action. That was what that was, right? So if you could see that live, that's trading P&Ls. I mean, it is obviously an area of resistance. That's why we caught it could have easily bounced off there and gone, but now we're getting that good flush of the opening range low. If you crack the bottom of yesterday's low, then the selling could just continue to be in until about 400, right down here, 384 or 400. If we are going to be a range bound type day, this is the bottom, this is the top. Let's be careful what we do shorting lows or new low of day, new high of days, rotations. %60 short on the tilt. NVIDIA bouncing from the low. Oh, don't want to risk that much there. Microsoft, once it failed at 400, this is what I was looking for. I mean, I just maybe didn't give myself enough breathing room here. That short, once I got stopped out here, you could have left the stops at the highs and then just looked for the best move there and then eventually get the crack down. I eventually took the confirm cracked, right? If we would have took it from up here, same thing, limited our risk a bit, but this really gave us that confirmation that we were going to move. That's why I waited for that. NVIDIA bouncing. Give me one more push to the downside. Give me a little bit of a flush there, and I can get some idea on if I want to go long. I want this to get to 452, and then I'll get long. Just playing a rotational type day, range bound day. NVIDIA popping right off there. You trust the levels. I feel like the NVIDIA price action is going to do what it's going to stay within this red box all day until we get the earnings probably. Sorry, I'm not talking, I'm just watching, waiting to see what goes on here. I have no real play right this second. Really want to see if we can get down to that low again. This red line is the overnight low. It may act as resistance. It's the dead center of the opening range. So we've peaked above, peaked below, peaked above, peaked below, and we're right in the middle of the opening range. So price is rangy today. I don't know if we're going to break down further. We could easily break down and just continue to sell. And like I said, I have all the way down, even if you want to stay in this makeshift channel that we have here, 400, even to the lower, 380 or something. Do we break through this opening range low? Or do we hold it? Looks like Delta's building in for longs. NVIDIA gave a little bit of a sell push there. A lower high. See if it pushes even further down. If it gets to 678 and flushes, then we could play the breakdown of 52. If it doesn't flush, if it holds and bounces again, then you could take the rotation up again. That's really kind of what I'm looking at here. I also want to see a divergence in the delta. This is the exact same thing, right? This push down, we bounced, rejection, pushing up, not quite pushing up here, so let's see what happens. Failing this. Just want to see what Microsoft's doing real quick. Trying to get through 400. If Microsoft could get back through 400, then this should rally on up. I'll give it a shot there. If Microsoft could break above 4, then we should get this thing to kind of push up more. There we go. This is me trying to front run Microsoft breaking 400 again. The NVIDIA heaviness not helping me out. Failed it. That was just to try to break out. It's going to fail us and it's going to stop us out. Wait a minute. Still involved. Still good. And we're out. All right. Back down 1100. Okay, we're going to pause for a second. I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break. And I'll be right back. Give me a second. All right. Yeah, I'll be right back. we're back, and we're back to that same location again. Microsoft failing, not quite getting there. Right. Still just kind of hanging around here in the middle. NVIDIA pushing up higher. And failing. Microsoft rolling. Yeah, let's see if we can catch this to roll. Apple, lows, NVIDIA, rolling over, bouncing a little bit. Is it going to continue on up, or is it going to roll over? We got a maybe a little roll there. Microsoft breaking down. Opening range low right here. I'm looking to see what happens around that level. NVIDIA kind of rolling over. Microsoft is rolling over. Apple. Apple broke down a bit. Microsoft still pushing lower. Let's sell to here. Through that range low. If we can break the daily low, then we could be off to the downside further. If it wants to melt really hard, really fast, I'll take it off. But if this is going to bounce, then we're going to be out and done. Is this the bounce location where I get myself run over? It seems like it is, but could be just the rotation down through the lows and beyond. That's what I was looking to hope to catch there, the flush of that opening range low. NVIDIA's bouncing from here. Just not seeing it well today. Probably going to have to shut it down after this loss. If it loses. If it doesn't lose, then we keep going. Get through the bottom. Get through the bottom. Flush the low of the day for me, baby. Delta's getting heavier here, so we should see at least a push down to 452, I would hope. Our stop was in pretty much the exact location that we needed it to be. We would have been wrong there. So hopefully this can now push through the lows. If it does flush the lows, and Microsoft helps us out a little bit and we rotate down further, then we could catch this thing. If not, if that's just a liquidity grab, then we're out probably right here. NVIDIA caught a little bit of a bounce. We're not getting the heaviness on it that I would like to see through the low of the opening range. Usually you get like a nice little push down. That was not as good as I would have liked to see. Like I said, 61.75 was that line in the sand prior. Now it's acting as a good hold location, good bounce spot. You can see it right here, 61.75. It's pretty much where we're short from. It is exactly where we're short from. So if we can break it and hold, then that's a good short. But at the moment, it's bouncing it from there. So it was really more of a liquidity grab, it seems, at the moment, until we can hold below it. If we can hold below it, like I said, then that's a good spot for that to continue to flush to the bottom. But we're just accepting this as a loss, and then if it rolls over, then we're happy. If it bounces, it's a loss, and we move on. I've had a hard go at it today. The last 2 days have kind of been shitty. We're down 15. So, but like I said, it's always one good trade away. I've just been kind of faltering on everything here. Main trading screen, cancel, B&L, 15, down 15. Bam. Fuck. Alrighty. Well, there's the recovery of that level. Bouncing. Failed bounce. Rotate. Choppy day chops me up. I mean, with Microsoft getting so heavy, really wanted me to get this thing short, and it just not following through. All right, 60% long on the tilt. Close this. There's a pop. I'll take that. Fuck it. This delta pushing through the overnight low. Video failing it. Chop City, baby. Chop Suey. That's what we got going on. Gosh. Down 18. Well, that's not a great day. Get back in with two guys. Well, let's see if we can get this long here. If not, we'll be locked out for the day. 1800. Just kind of like I said, a Chop City kind of day. Didn't quite get what we wanted to get out of it. Could always battle back. Could always make a new. NVIDIA's still trying to make maybe a bounce out of this 680.50 level. see if we get a bounce again from the bottom. If it's gonna, or if it's gonna be the actual flush breakdown. We're gonna find that. We only have one shot left at this before we get locked out for the day. So let's try and make it a good shot. Do our best to risk maybe the bottom here. We're pushing to lows. Delta not making that new push to lows. So if we do get a break above, potentially we could get that rotate back to the high side. Just try and be patient with it as best we can. But really, just kind of overall, just a chop day for me. Kind of expected it. Really should have been a little bit more patient on some of these entries. Delta's pushing down a bit, but price is not following. No new low there. A little overtraded, a little bit aggressive on some of these moves. Kind of just going bang, 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 bang. I do have the, let's see here, not quite interesting in that regard. Microsoft's giving you a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a pop. NVIDIA also probably giving you a slight bounce at 680. Nothing doing. 461.75. Well, we got to get back in with a one guy if we can get involved. That's all we have left in our bank here. Can we rotate this higher? Very, very choppy session. Still within that opening range, both in the S&Ps and in the NASDAQ. Back-to-back days are just not quite getting off to a great start. We were up a little bit and then down a little bit. Now we're down a lot a bit. 1864 could look to get this to push to the high side. I think we could rotate it all the way up to that overnight high if we could get this through here. Once again, I'm going to see if I can catch that. That's really where I want to be. If I get stopped on it, I get stopped on it. We're going to shut down for the day. Come back to it again tomorrow, ready to go, ready to make up for the losses that we put in for the day. Switching to two contracts, trying to be aggressive. Just didn't catch the moves that I really wanted to get today. It's just really all it came down to. Microsoft, NVIDIA, pushing back up to the high again. Very, very rangy. I'm not entering this. Oh, I am in. Fuck me. I tried to get out. Whatever. We're in now. Tried to shut that off, and now we're in the trade, so we're just letting it play out. We're out. We're flat for the day, down $2,000. Locked ourselves out. Great job, Daddy. Great job. All right, down 2. 2014. We're locked out, so we're just gonna watch. Doing kind of silly things today with that. I really wanted to not. As soon as I clicked the X, it got filled. Should have just flattened it right immediately. That's just my bad. I broke my rule, and I deserve to be locked out on that, breaking that rule right there. Now I'm gonna dig myself out of a hole. Come this funded account again. We still got $1,000 to work with. No big deal. Tomorrow could come out and trade better. Today, not so great. We're still pretty close on some of these other accounts. 71. We can trade this one if we want to keep making some trades just to see what we could do out here. Overall, not very happy with how I traded today. Not many people would be happy being down $2,000. I didn't execute properly on some of these. Over here, this was a good trade. I called out this one. Should have took it, didn't, and then basically chopped myself up on these losses here. Tried to take these, and just it's rangy, just nothing happening. So over the next few minutes, I'll wait, and then after 10 o'clock, we'll do some of these. We'll see if we can get this 50K combine going and make some good trades on there. Get ourselves some momentum moving into tomorrow. So I'll stay on till 11 as usual, but unfortunately drew myself down way more than I would have liked to on a day like today, especially early on this account. I love to do this on these funded accounts pretty quickly. This is the realities of trading. Over and over and over again, things like this kind of happen. You got to just be able to grind through it, make it back. I just took my shots at certain moves, didn't happen. And on a day like today with NVIDIA, and then Microsoft's now breaking out above NVIDIA, maybe not. Apple. Feeling like shit today coming in. Probably should have just limited my executions, just knowing that I felt this way coming in. These are things you got to notate before you come in and trade, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Microsoft pushing up towards that 400 level again. NVIDIA is the big chop city driver of this market, right? I said until after market today, we'll get some better news and we'll be able to figure out what's going on, and we can maybe make some money off of it post market tomorrow and moving forward once we get out of this choppy environment. All right, 10 a.m. Yeah, not a lot of follow through on things. This is one of those environments where this is not opportunity. I mean, we tried to get entries. I didn't enter here. This was my best idea of the day, and then I kept trying to get follow through on this, chopped myself up, which really led to, I caught this here, and that could have been just put us up and been done for the day, and then I tried to catch up by catching the bounces on this, and it just didn't kind of play out. So overall, just kind of an day to trade. Some of these days you got to be mindful of what's going on in the market. After yesterday's big NVIDIA sell-off, you expected this kind of pause on it. We're down 2 on it. If Microsoft breaks 400, then this upside move probably happens here. Looking to see if I can catch a little move on this combine, the 50K here. If it breaks above. Okay. Let's see. A little market correction here. See what kind of move we get here on this. Delta is pushing up. Price is trying to push up here. We'll get in above here. We'll play that. And we'll see if we can catch this finally to break out now that we've locked ourselves out of our actual funded account. We're up into this 50K combine here. Let's see if we can break above this wedge here. Microsoft pushing through, trying to make to new highs of the day. The high of the day is 447 on Microsoft, and it's up at 417 cents. So we can continue pushing. Then maybe it drives NVIDIA to continue pushing up higher. The break of this little trend line here possibly gives you a little bit of a pop now that we're at 10 o'clock. Or we could continue to just chop around. But this is just a combine. We're trying to get another one passed while we lock ourselves out of the other one. The funded account we had, the 100K account is down 2K. Currently, we are failing that level there. We're in, we're holding it. Microsoft dips right back down below 400. We still look like we want to break above here. Delta failing that level there, so maybe looking to, where is this at? Let's see how much we can catch on this, but if it does break above, it should rotate through up into VWAP. If it fails again, then it's going to continue to just chop around all day. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. What is going on here? There we go. Microsoft failed 400. NVIDIA is rolling back down to the bottom of this little wedge. Microsoft selling off pretty hard from there. This could be that actual final sell that really kind of pushes us down, or it could just stay in this chop for the rest of the day. Overall, pretty shitty trading session. I think overall for most people, you're just getting caught in some chop. Unless you caught this move here or this little move here at the right time, then you're fine, right? We caught this one. We were happy with that. We missed this entry here, which is disappointing because I was I was right there to take that, and then that would have really probably ended my day. I would have been up pretty nice on it. This is going to fail here to the downside. Maybe it's just going to be another rangy type move. This is a 50K combine, being transparent. We're down 2K on our funded, so we're just locked out of that. We wanted to see if we could actually get a follow through on any of these moves. That's why I'm trying to catch it on that combine. Currently still just very heavy. Microsoft tried to break out from 400. That's why we took the long there, and then it just failed it completely. So the entries are good. We're just kind of not getting the follow through on some of the names to help us out. nothing followed through. Like you said, yeah, Ray. There's nothing, no follow through. Nothing's really playing out the way it could have been through my analysis. But some days you get chopped up. It just is what it is. Now tomorrow I just got to play it a little bit risk averse. I don't have a ton of drawdown to work with. Got to build out of this drawdown and into some profits, which is totally possible. Like I hit pretty good trades once a day. Like this will probably be the area where it does break out, and we'll be happy with the combine, but not with the. We're taking this entry based purely on lack of follow through to the downside, but also some of these rotations. Microsoft's still trying to bounce and break 400. NVIDIA also rotated right back to the high of its little consolidation here. I think it's still, if it could push up to 684, then you can get some follow through on this move. We're up 400 on this trade here. You're not getting a lot of follow through, so we'll take one off there, and then we'll let this other one run. See if we can get this thing to run up a little bit further. See what kind of pressure. We're up pretty decent on this move now. If we can get up into that VWAP area, then I will look to possibly move into that opening range high. If NVIDIA fails this top end of its range, it's probably going to rotate us all the way back down again. So I just want to see what happens with NVIDIA. Microsoft has to break above. This breakout here could just continue us up to the upside. This is the profit potential that we were looking to catch in the funded account. Obviously, we didn't get it. We're sitting up 350. We secured 185 on that. I took one trade overnight on this, so I was already up 300 or so, whatever it was. I'm up currently closed profits 570. We're sitting unrealized at 825 on this account here. If NVIDIA does decide to now break out, now that we locked ourselves out of the account, unfortunately, I took the trade when I shouldn't have, and got locked out before. But now it's going. So at least we're profiting on the combine. We're getting ourselves closer to another funded account. We have one combine that's just shy of $700 away from passing, and this one is once we get this one will be just under 1,000 seemingly. I gotta cut this if it gets to 1,500 in profit, so $500 more. I'll secure below this candle here just to get ourselves, if we do fail the VWAP area, then we'll secure some of these profits. My voice is gone. We traded like shit. Not a great streaming environment, but I appreciate anybody who stuck around, came by, take a look at the stream. Anybody who's interacted. We do like to show everything. Losses, wins, trading when you're fucking sick. When you have no voice. We're out here every day. If I can stream, if I can trade, I'll be out here. That was a good trade, I think. Really, the way the market's been acting, there's lack of follow through and everything. So we went in with two. We took off the first one as we approached the opening range high here, and then I just trailed the second one there just in case we failed the VWAP, which we did there. Now it seems like it wants to continue on. Just kind of happenstance there. That's the kind of move we were looking to kind of catch with the funded account, but we decided that we were going to lock ourselves out of it. So we're pretty close on two more combines to get a couple more funded accounts, so I'm not too worried about it. Even with the drawdown, I'm not worried about it. I could come out tomorrow and have a couple good hits and be right back into building that account up. Right now, we just, sometimes you take a paper cuts in these kind of market environments where the price just chops around all day, and you get in and you try and get some follow through, and then there's no follow through. I mean, we did a good job early. I was up about 100 and change around this area because I was trying to play the breakout it would fail. I would take my profit. Breakout failed, take my profit. It was up about 100 and change. We finally got the rollover. Didn't play that short, but that was a nice little move there. We talked about the long here with the way Delta was acting and the rotation up. We just never caught it. I know Ray caught it, which was great. I'm happy that he was able to catch something there. And then you got that full pop there. We took a couple attempts at a short, chopped ourselves up in this, and then finally got caught this one that brought us back to just about 600. And then we tried to catch a bounce and tried to catch a short and chopped ourselves up in this mess here. So really what I like to do is fade extremes. My strategy is playing bounces and fading highs. This move was perfect. We tried to use the rotation through the overnight low, failed, and then we tried to break down. I'm not a breakdown trader, and I tried it and got ran over, and that's why I don't do it. So that got us there, and then we got locked out on our last attempt over here on trying to play the breakout, which was correct, just way too early. With this kind of wedge coming in, really needed to wait for this to break. After seeing it up here, you had a time correction, and then now you have that push up. That's just kind of how we roll. Jeez. All right. I really have no voice. Locked myself out of my funded account. Drew down to this combine's up 755. So we're at 51,962 there. We're at Top Step X count, we're at 52,244. So we are green on the combines, and we locked ourselves out of the funded. So we just gotta be a little bit more risk averse tomorrow on the stream. See if we can get something that'll be able to maximize some follow through and really make up for today and then some. I'm not trying to hit a home run or anything like that. I'm just gonna limit my downside and just trail out as I feel fit. I think really just with the NVDA earnings coming, you just have all this chop that you're not going to be able to really profit off too much. Microsoft continues to fail 400. Every time we try to break it, we fail it. So that's really been not giving you that follow through to the upside. And then as you try to play the breakdown, you get a full breakdown like this, you think you're going to get some follow through on the equity, on the futures, and you just get nothing. So should be probably rangy for the rest of the day, all the way through until close. You might get some follow through on something, but nothing that I've been convinced on yet today. Trading is it's all about timing, right? When it comes to these trades here, we started to get some good, like if I would have just cut them, all of them were into profit a little bit, right? you just didn't get the follow through. So once I started seeing that happened, just trying to review what went wrong on the day and then try and be better for it. My strategy does call for pulling stops pretty quickly. So, I didn't pull them here. I pulled them here, did fine. Didn't pull them here, didn't get the follow through. You finally do get the follow through, but you didn't capitalize on it totally. So it's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. Microsoft failing 400 again. Now you're getting that rotation back to the bottom half here. Maybe we just probably get the same kind of chop we got there. You got to be patient with it. If you're looking for an entry up here, you got to be mindful of the time of day. You got to be mindful of, what Microsoft does. We got to be mindful of NVIDIA on its earnings day. I think you probably rotate back to the bottom, but conviction wise, I don't have very much conviction on anything. You get another little pop, then you don't get the delta push. You get a little tilty long on the X, and then you can maybe short this. Up 755 on that combine. Could look to get one more trade in on that. See if we can catch another little bit to make ourselves up to that. We can't make more than $1,500 in a day on it. Otherwise, you have to make more money to pass. So it's kind of annoying in that regard, but which is understandable. Microsoft popping off through 400. I'll take a long right here just to play along with Microsoft. Nope. Is it failing 400? Was that a liquidity grab? Nope. No follow through on this. I'm not taking nothing. Video rolling, so you can see the difference between Apple, who is actually the heaviest weighted, Microsoft, popping through a key major level that it's been battling all day, and NVIDIA, who's got some earnings today. I'm taking that long. There's a bounce. No follow through on the day, so as it goes, I'm just gonna trail it up. Get up to that value area high there. We're at break even. Let's see what we can get on the follow through to the upside. Nothing has been following through, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do get stopped out. However, I'll take one off at that 21 if we get there, or at the 13s, at the value area high. It looks like we possibly gonna fail this breakout like we do on the day like today. There we go, flat. Up 795 on this combine. Once again, just another failed break. You don't get the good push on the delta. NVIDIA rolled and Microsoft pushed the highs, and that is what's fighting the futures is just fighting themselves right now. It doesn't know who to follow. Does it follow Microsoft up or does it follow NVIDIA down? You got the delta trying to push. It's just like staying flat with price trying to push up. So it also gives you some heaviness in this market as well. And you're sitting right at VWAP, so not a ton of, you're going to get some of this probably. And maybe tomorrow we wake up, we don't feel like we have no voice, we don't have to take a bunch of Mucinex, maybe we see the market better, maybe the market doesn't chop after we get some of this news, and we'll be just fine. Like today's FOMC, and then, tomorrow really, you got PMI flashes, existing home sales. So you have some stuff that may get the market to get a little whippy, but realistically, everything come 9 o'clock, everything should sort of be settled down, and then you get you have Fed Jefferson, who I don't even think anybody even knows who they are, so they're not going to have any movement in the market too much. Super flat delta. Try to be aggressive on a day that probably should have been less aggressive. That's just on me. Could have caught 1, 2, this move here and this move here. If you get this breakdown of this little wedge, should have been a clear cut short. Hindsight being 2020. This one was the one I'm mad at because I talked about it, called it out, and didn't take it. Microsoft holding the highs, made new highs on the day. So, do you get continuation on Microsoft, or do you fail the high of the day? Apple was pushing up, and now it's just basing around. And NVIDIA is literally in the middle of its range, that red range that I figured we'd probably stay in the whole day. I kind of talked about that a little bit with its earnings. After that big push down, and then overnight, another big push down, gap lower from the close, even though really, price yesterday, I think it took a relief rally more than anything. We'll see what happens after earnings, after hours today. The funded account tomorrow, we'll come back and we'll make some money on it. And there'll be no harm, no foul. As long as we can end the week green, that's all we need, right? 2 good days make up for this shitty day, or even tomorrow can make up for this day. We're looking for some follow through on this, which you're maybe getting, but overall, not much. You see this kind of chop. You had it here, chop, 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 chop. You got it here. You're accumulating. Just see where this price goes and just react. That's really all you can do in this kind of market. If you're actually going to trade it, if you want to keep your money, maybe don't trade this market. Nothing doing here. Microsoft rolling back to the downside. You're not getting that. NVIDIA break. Do you break down from here? If you break that, you can take that short. All right, we took this short just on the breakdown of the wedge. And on video breaking down as well. Just want to see if this plays out. Really, I'm not overly convinced on anything breaking out, and the range of the day kind of working. That's really what I was looking at here. If it gets stopped out, it gets stopped out. Microsoft was rolling after breaking the highs of the day, so that's really another reason why I figure we could get a little bit of a rollover if we broke down from this wedge, although we wicked. A false breakdown and a breakout could lead to higher highs, but really here we go, getting the rollover. Always see the market better, you know, once you get locked out of your funded account, right? Same deal as before. Is this the time it breaks out, or is this another time where it doesn't? If we break that red line there, that opening range low, then you get the flush just like that. Opening range high, I should call it, not the low. We can't take too much profit on this, so. Can this continue to rotate down, or is it not going to give you the follow through? That's really what we just over and over again are looking to see. Not going to give you the follow through. Good short here. Like I said, looking to just fade the extremes of the day, and we didn't do well on it the rest of the day. Locked ourselves out of the funded account, but we're now getting the follow through after a break of the wedge to the downside. If we continue to hold below this opening range high, then you should rotate further to the downside, but that's just, we haven't had good follow through on the day, so that's why I've trailed up to that opening range high. We're out now, we're flat. So we're up 945 on the combine. We're just shy of $900 to go on that to get past. Wouldn't be surprised if this now rotates further down, but because Microsoft did fail 400 again. It failed the high of the day and failed 400. NVIDIA pre-earnings, just still within its little choppy range. I can take one short, risking 200, but I'm not going to do that right now. See if it rolls. We're going to stay on until 11 because that's my stream. I'm not going to get off early just because I locked out of that funded account. We still have this combine that we can trade. We're up 945 on that combine. We were a little bit more patient on some of these breakdowns in the combine. Now it seems like it's a false kind of breakdown. If it re-accepts above the top end of this wedge, you could see possibly it rotate up to that 521 level. Wow, Intel popped. Holy shit. Apple beaten down to the bottoms. I don't know why Intel would pop like that. That's crazy. And it failed, so it's probably a fat finger mistake there. All right. Another beautiful day here in Tradecaster, YouTube. We made some shitty trades early. Well, actually, very early. We did a good job of cutting these failed breaks, and we were up a little bit, and then we kind of just got chopped ourselves around in this range here, got ourselves into a hole. We took a nice little winner here. We shed right about there on 2 contracts, got trailed out. I was looking to take one off down here. I did not get there. It got trailed out, and then it rotated further. Then we tried to catch up, play the bounce, play the fade, got chopped up, locked ourselves out on the last trade, and then obviously it played out nicely. So we took it on our combine. We're in here on the combine. We're up 945 on the combine. We're down 2 on the funded. So you get some, you get some. Either way. The realities of trading. Sometimes you get, stuck in some choppy environment. Really should have been a bit more patient on the day like today, understanding that with NVIDIA's move to the downside yesterday, you were going to get probably a more resting day prior to that earnings to actually come out. We were really waiting to see that play after market, post market today. So that's really what we're looking at. And then for this breakdown, 1, 2, 3, the 4th time through was the right move. I tried it 1, 2, 3 times. It took me until there, but I was short from up here each time. Could have been a little bit quicker on the trail and tight, and then we wouldn't have dug ourselves as big of a hole. And then finally getting the follow through on that final one would have put us back up and over. So really just tomorrow come out with a good plan again, and we would just execute on the plan tomorrow. We tried to go with a opening range breakout early. You whipped down, came back up, broke out. We took a small profit on it because it rotated, just kind of continued to fail. We tried it a couple times. Broke down here, didn't end up taking this. I really like this one a lot. I keep mentioning that. Then same here. Just didn't get the follow through on a lot of these. I didn't trail tight, which got me into the hole. And then once I did get the breakdown, I didn't let it breathe as much as I would have liked it to. We just haven't got follow through. I did mention it's probably because of NVIDIA just chopping itself around today. We did have Microsoft and Apple try to break through highs at some point during the day, each at individual times. Now Apple's at lows. Well, not at the day lows, but it's going towards the lows. Broke the recent low. NVIDIA literally dead center of this range here. This is what it's been doing. This is really what's been making our day a living hell. You broke out here. You think, okay, we're going to catch that breakout, maybe recover some of what we got, and then maybe fade from there. We reaccepted into the bottom here, and we just flattened out. And that is what I should have recognized and made the adjustment on. Hopefully other people made some money. I know Ray made some money today off that bounce on the bottom there at 521, 452. I should say 452, 451 area. He took that long there. That was excellent. We did make some good executions here and here. Just happened to get ourselves chopped up enough that we got locked out on the funded account. So the 2 combines are up pretty good. So it's a mixed bag type of day, right? The account that you can actually make some money on and take withdrawals from is down, but the other 2 where you're working to get more funding, those are up. So, we're very close. By the end of the week, we could have 2 more funded accounts, and then we could build out of the drawdown in the XFA that we got going on now. and then really just kind of continue to make our good executions. Don't let these bad days, snowball. Trading is a long game, so you really need to work on limiting days like I just had and making the best of the winning days, right? Microsoft looking to creep its way back up again. This is like a little bit of a channel thing going on here. Microsoft creating a quasi head and shoulders. NVIDIA, I think I'll just kind of dance around the rest of the day. 10:38, I'm staying on till 11, and then go enjoy the rest of my day. NVIDIA caught a little bit of a pop. Maybe this little bottom end of the channel here, you could catch the rotation back to the high side, and if it breaks out, then you may rotate to that 17,521 level. If NVIDIA fails this little pop that it has, then you could just continue rotating around in no man's land. Avoiding clicking buttons is the best thing. Overall, you're just continuing to grind down. We're still in this downtrend. I don't think we get any new, new information until after this NVIDIA earnings. Risk management is huge, right? I was trying to get these two guys on so I could get one contract off every time I was able to do it. I, was unable to secure any of those. Got myself into two here. Could have took one off, left one at the high, and then rotated down there, which would have been much better. That's my normal strategy, right? Get one off and then let it rotate down. Now you're pushing down here. Does it rotate through or does it bounce once again? It seems like it's a very bouncy area. We're grinding to the downside. You are getting some delta push, so there is some selling coming in. Microsoft sitting just below 400. NVIDIA, this chop city, baby. That is really all it comes down to, is avoiding trading something like this. Or if you're trading this range day, understanding that it is a range day and just not expecting giant returns on rotations. We're up 945 on this combine that we're trading right now. The top step account is X account is at up 1549, including a trade from last night. And the funded account is down 2K. So we were a little aggressive with that one, but not aggressive enough where we took the trades that we needed to take. So the drawdown on the day, it happens. You just got to be able to withstand those and just continue to grow your strategy and maximize your profits on days that you do actually make your profits to make up for the crap days. And if you can't talk, you probably shouldn't stream. Bounce play. getting ourselves to watch this, see what happens. I don't know if I'll be able to take one more trade before the end of the stream here, but we'll see what happens at earnings time. Come after post market with NVIDIA. That's really what you're going to see, either a huge gap up or a huge gap down come 5 o'clock today when we reopen. Well, actually, technically, it'll probably be the earnings will happen, but I can't trade it with the funded account or the combines because you got to be done by 3:10, and we will be definitely not on for that. But watch it, see what happens with it. Be mindful of what goes on with that earnings. It is going to be the telltale sign for the rest of the market. If NVIDIA does crack to the downside, I would anticipate this market to just continue to roll over. We have room to the downside, plenty of room to the downside. I would imagine that 17,200 level, if NVIDIA cracks, then the 17,200 level is in play. But if it continues to rip higher after earnings, then we could rotate all the way back up to highs. But it's just going to be a wait and see kind of game. My voice goes and comes and goes and comes. Will this rotate again from this level? You can see that Delta's flat, price action is not going anywhere. You're really just kind of stuck here. You got to see if it'll bounce from here and then get through that upper trend line there and then go from there if you wanted to see if you could take anything. But overall on the day, this is a very, very flat chart. I mean, let's go with the 5 minute. You can see it's just, everything is just super, super tight on the 5. Very, very tight. Pop, fade, pop, fade, maybe another pop. If you get down into that level again, or if you break through here. Purely on a bounce play, take a long, just to take a trade, but I'm not doing that. Okay, we don't want to just to trade. Try and teach you good habits. Not gonna give back any of these, much of this gain that we got here on this combine. The top step account is already at the limit of where I could make in a day, so we just gotta make a little bit more. Tomorrow we're just shy of $700 more on that one, and this one is just shy of, or just more than 800 till we can pass. So next week, I'm going to be doing the short only trade ideas competition. See how much we can get out of that. It would probably be a fun one to do. Super flat delta, coming up to 10:50 on Central Time. Like I said, we chopped ourselves up. Didn't quite get the moves that we wanted to get. No follow through. Ended up letting those come back and stop us out instead of just taking them off at break even. We drew ourselves down to $2,000, and now we're just watching a combine to see if we can get ourselves a couple more fundeds before the end of the week. Still have that 100K account. Tomorrow we're gonna have to execute some good trades. See if we can maximize our wins. Maybe take 1 or 2 good winners tomorrow, and then carry that into Friday and see if we can end the week green on that account. A holiday short week. We were up $3 yesterday, down to $2 today. So $2,000. So we're not able to dig out of the hole like we were yesterday. Probably could have if we just limited some of these executions or sized down on a choppy day. NVIDIA approaching the bottom again. That's 678 level. Could get a bounce here from there just because of NVIDIA bouncing, staying rangy. I'll buy one. I'll risk to the bottom. Based on NVIDIA getting to 678 and trying to bounce. There you go. One contract. I'm going to see if we can crack the high of that little trend there. This was based purely off of NVIDIA getting to that bottom end of its little channel here, and then I wanted to catch a bounce. Right, the bottom end there. I would like to see a crack above that trend line there. If it does, then I'm going to go to break even. There you go, break even. Now that's let it run and see how far I can go. It's a free trade. I have no qualms with letting it go a little bit. If it fails and if NVIDIA rotates through the bottom hard like it looks like it's doing right now, then this probably fails and continues to rotate down. But if NVIDIA bounces at all from 678, then this will probably continue to the upside some. Just because a lot of these other names aren't beaten down. They're actually at their highs. Microsoft's at highs or approaching towards highs, that 400 level. Apple caught a bounce. It's rotating up. NVIDIA should bounce off of the 678 level. If it flushes, then it probably gives up the GOAT. And Google apparently is ripping higher. So yeah. So you were patient enough to wait for this to get to here. I'll leave this stop there and then just see how high you can take it. We're up in that 11,700. Get below this candle here, secure about $100 on it, and then see if we can get any follow through on the bounce. One contract on this one. See what kind of pop we can get on it. I can only make a little bit more on here. So if it does pop off, it's good. I'm taking that off of at this opening range high because that just seems to be where it wicks a lot. This is how I would have liked to have traded the whole day. The last few trades have been really, really well executed, very patient. That's just what we're gonna have to do tomorrow. With the funded account, but right now up 1,200 on this account. We're up 1,500 on the other Top Step X. And now we're flat there. So we're up 1,110 on this here. Caught a little bit of a move there. We got about 170 on that. Yeah, 170 on that trade there. I don't trust any sort of follow through on any of these trades. That's why I just trail them tight and cut them off. Much better execution. Now we're just over. Tomorrow we'll need $700 on this account to pass it. Same with the Top Step X account, just shy of 700, 240. Just over 700 on both. So nothing unattainable. And then if we could do that with our funded account, we'd be very, very happy. We'd just take that one execution and just let it play out instead of hammering it and over trading. So we can make 400 more bucks if we want. We only have about 8 minutes left in the stream. That full pop there. Good little follow through. That was based solely on being at the bottom here, overnight low, getting NVIDIA right to its bounce point, right? Bounce. Probably going to get another bounce. and that's what we were looking for, especially pre earnings. Microsoft was pushing up, but now it's rotating down a little bit, and Apple was pushing up as well, right? It was breaking up. So all those confluences, plus that little bit of a break of that overnight low and hold, you had Delta start to creep up. Let's try and catch some of this move to the high side. We didn't, if we got to the opening range high, I kind of anticipated it to falter from there. Really trying to get it to VWAP is probably the entire idea of that move. But overall, only took one contract on it. Just tried to be light on it and see what happened. And we got the break that we were looking for. So made some really good moves here post being locked out. Since we got locked out, we made 175, 185, 40, 150, 165. So we do that math here. 175, 185, 40, 150, and 165. Up 715 since we got locked out. It happens. This was patience, right? We waited for this one. We caught it. It broke down a little bit, and then once it actually broke through that wedge, we got the pop, and we secured the profit there. On this one, we saw the fade, took the fade down, caught that nice, and then this one we saw, slowing down at the overnight low, failed to break and push lower, pop above here. Delta started to push up. NVIDIA was at the very low of its little range where it should pop from. Now it's pushing hard to the downside. So like I said, it could initiate a failure of this. We're at the top end of a little bit more of a longer term downtrend here on the 30-minute. You can see it over here, kind of playing through these 30-minute levels a bit. Pop, fail, same deal. We're kind of at the high end of that, in that range there. So watching. Tech nice and green on the day so far. Good. The GOAT still continues to goat things with his equities and options over there. Small cap room. So we're red on the day in our funded, and we're green on the day in our combines. So, like I said, it's a love-hate kind of day. We're here. It's 4 minutes till 11. Gonna shut down the stream at 11. We will come back tomorrow stronger. 8:30 a.m. We'll have a nice plan. NVIDIA earnings will be done. Our news releases are pretty much, that's going to be like the relief valve for this market to stop chopping around on today. Once the NVIDIA earnings are out, obviously the meeting minutes are going to come out too, but those aren't that important because we already know what they said and what their decision was, so not much real guidance. You'll get some algo pop at 1 o'clock, but really nothing crazy. The real news is NVIDIA, so just wait for that news release. Let the market do its thing, and then tomorrow we'll actually have a true session of actual price action. Today was very choppy, very range bound, a rest type day, waiting for that information from NVIDIA. That was a good move there from the bottom. Glad we caught a portion of that. Value area high, rejection. 3 more minutes till the stream is up. I appreciate anybody coming in, stopping by during this chop session that we have today. Like I said, I chopped myself funded, but I slowed myself down, was patient with some of these combine trades, and and was able to execute better after realizing the kind of day that I was kind of getting into. I was talking about how it was going to be range bound, and then I executed based on it, and then I would just not get any follow through on certain moves, and that was just purely my bad. Shit happens. So tomorrow we come back strong. We keep executing our plan, no harm, no foul, and then we end the week green on Friday, and we go into the weekend happy and ready to conquer a full week next week. No holiday next week, I don't think. And we'll be hopefully have a voice again by next week. That's really what we're looking to do. Should have possibly another 2 50K funded accounts, one on Top Step X, one over here on Quant Tower by the end of the week. So that'll be cool. As long as we're patient with our executions, and we don't just hammer stuff in like we did with the funded account today, then we will be very happy with our 3 funded accounts moving forward. So can't be mad at that. And then I'm actually going to start loading up a personal brokerage account for Monday. So we have that, but that's going to be traded a bit smaller. Let things kind of be let moves develop a bit more in that account, and show you how to kind of grow a smaller brokerage account, as opposed to how a little bit aggressive I am with the prop firms. Same strategies, but just a little bit more risk tolerance in the buffer, and trade a smaller size. It's not really more risk tolerance as far as dollars. It's risk tolerance as far as buffer is concerned. What are the chances this breaks the highs? Less likely than if it rotates down, right? That's kind of how you got to look at these things. Alrighty. Like I said, crappy $2,000 loss day on the funded accounts. However, a good little bounce back there at the end. We took $750 of winners post getting locked out. So realistically, we're kind of down just over $1,000 on the day. So with all of our executions, across all the executions, down just over 1,000. So I hope everybody had a good day. I'm glad Ray caught that trade and bounced, because now he's up on the day. We got some other guys, hopefully making some good moves. I appreciate everybody coming by, stopping by. Come back tomorrow, 8:30, and watch how we recover from a losing day, and if we can get these 2 other funded accounts secured. All right? So until tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Time, I will see you guys then.